From your kit, you will need your cup, your wick, the lollipop stick and the skewer, as well as a packet of wax. You will also need a pot with warm water, a bowl to sit on top and some sharp scissors.
Okay, so I am using a metal bambury that is specifically for melting candle wax, but you can use a glass bowl. It's very similar to melting chocolate, so you have warm water in your saucepan below, and you will be putting your wax into the container that sits top of the water. Now my water is warm, but it's not boiling. I don't want to have it too warm. And into this you can decant your wax. That's us. Now from here on it's a bit of a waiting game. You want this wax now to melt to a point where it's liquid, and then we have to let it cool again. Okay, so you will see your wax beginning to melt and go translucent. It may take a wee bit of time, it maybe take a few minutes for this to happen. I just use my skewer just to give it a little stir every now and again. So we're coming to the point where your wax is almost melted, and you can see there's maybe a few white blobs left. Now every now and again I've had to put the heat on underneath the pot of water, but as soon as the water starts to boil I put the heat back off again, because it'll be warm enough just to melt the wax. Okay, so again I'm just using my skewer just to stir it, just to melt that last remaining bit of wax. Okay, so my wax is now melted, and you can see it's a lovely translucent colour now. So what we have to do now is to let that wax cool down to an appropriate temperature to let us pour it into our cups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the water from the bottom of the pan and just let it cool down. So I've removed the water from the bottom of the pan just to let it cool down a bit quicker. It could take a couple of minutes again for it to cool back down. Now when you're cooling your wax, you're looking for it to go back into this cloudy milky colour, and as soon as you see that starting to happen, that is the right time to start pouring your wax. Now in the meantime, while we're waiting on it, we can take our wick and we can get that ready. So we take our wick and we dip the metal part into the molted wax. And again, using your skewer, you want to fix the metal part to the base of the cup. Now you can see that I'm holding the skewer on top of the metal just to hold that in place. And once that solidifies, that'll hold your wick in place for you. So just give your wick a moment just to stick itself to the bottom of your cup before you start attaching your wick through the wick holder. You can see a little hole in the wick holder, and that is where you want to push your wick through, and that will hold your wick in place straight while you pour your wax. So just gently push it through. Push it down so that the wick holder sits on top of the cup. And I'm just going to straighten out my wick. It's a bit bent in there, so I'm just going to use my fingers to gently just straighten that out. And that's us ready to pour. As your wax is cooling, you'll see that round about the edges starts to go a bit cloudier first and at the bottom. So I just give mine a little stir every now and again, just to get the heat away from the middle of the wax. Now I've been waiting for about 5 minutes here, waiting on this to start changing colour, and now I can see it's going slightly cloudy and it's looking a bit thicker than what it was before. So I'm getting to the point where I'm nearly going to be pouring this. I want it to be cooler a wee bit, just a touch more. So so that the milkiness is more uniform through it instead of just in patches just now. But we're not far off. You have to have patience. Okay, I'm at the stage where I'm quite happy that this is cooling down enough for me to pour it. If I had a thermometer, I'd be checking temperatures, and there's no premium wax melting temperatures. But you can see from mine, it's pretty much uniform now, that milkiness, so I'm going to pour it into my cup. So when I'm pouring it into my cup, I'm just doing it down the side, like this. And I'm going to leave about 1 centimetre from the top, which should just be about enough wax. Now you can see that looks quite viscous, so it's quite happy. It's a good pouring temperature. What we have to do now is make sure there's no bubbles in it. And if you have any wee bubbles in it, gently just tap them out. But from here on in, again, it's a bit of a waiting game. So you'll be waiting on your wax solidifying. So once your candle is solidified, you will see that it turns very much like a candle. It's brilliant white in colour. It's not soft to touch. It is set. We have to trim the wick. So our wick needs to be in line with the level of the cup. So leave your wick holder on. Take a pair of sharp scissors and snip it at the top. Now gently remove your wick holder. I'm going to pinch the wick from underneath just so that I don't disturb any of the wax. And I'm just gently going to lift my wick holder off. And that is me with my candle. Hold on. Now I've got I've been messy, I've got some wax round about the side, so what I can do with that is I can take my hairdryer and just gently heat up the wax round about the side and wipe it off. And that is you. Enjoy your candle.
When you finish making your candle, it will look like this. It's time to start enjoying it.